everybody. Welcome to another Staff Connections. I'm your host, Bill Culp. And again, you know the premise of this. It's basically to interview those who are working in your school district, not just because you matter, why, but because they matter. All right. And they're making a difference every day. So it's just incredible to be able to get to know the people that you might see in and out of your house, right? Hey, who knows? All right. Including this guy right here, John Hughes, guidance counselor at Limerick Elementary. How you doing there, John?
Very well, Bill. Thanks very much. I'm happy to be a part of this, and thank you for the opportunity to share more about me.
Hey, no problem. I mean, this is the first time we've ever met.
I was going to remark on how handsome you were, but I'm sure everyone already sees that.
Yeah. No, they don't know that. They're looking at that nice shiny head. So I appreciate, by the way, people don't know this, but you always wear a hat. Your little fedoras there.
Well, since you mentioned it, I do have.
Yeah. He knows that. I like that, everybody. He knows that, but actually, I guess he pulls it off. We'll see. All right, we'll see what the viewers say about that. All right,
maybe we'll do the poll question in the comments later on.
Maybe. All right, so let's get started here. All right, so first off, how many years have you been teaching? And obviously, you haven't been a guidance. I know you haven't been a guidance counselor, so kind of take us through the career of John Hughes.
Sure. So I've been in education since 2001. I started out as an elementary education teacher in Daniel Boone Area School District, right out to the west of us there. Taught second grade there for 5 years, and then came to Springford 2006-07, where I taught fourth grade for 1 year while I was completing my internship for my school counseling degree. And then I was fortunate enough to get the school counseling position at Limerick Elementary, and I've been in that position since 2008.
Yeah, 12 years. All right, so that's awesome. So what made you switch? Like sometimes, especially, I guess it's sort of rare. You do see some teachers go to like maybe a special area, but not a guidance counselor. So what drew you to be a guidance counselor? Did you always kind of have that in the back of your mind, even when you were teaching?
Not really. No, I think when I got to the point in my teaching career was time to look for a master's program and continue education. I was looking at programs out there. And the psychology aspect of it appealed to me, and offering some supports for mental health services and working on those lines. And I realized that without the undergrad credits to really pursue that at a master's level, I would almost have to start from scratch to really go for a child psychology route. Whereas the school counseling route offered that seemingly some of that same direction in a program that I was already accustomed to, and I didn't have to go through as many credits. So, and then once I got into the program, first couple of courses, I loved it and just kept going with it from there.
All right, and we're going to get back to that in a little bit, but let's let a little bit about you. So obviously, I worked with your wife in fourth grade there, so she's working in the district. But tell us about your wife, your family, and things like that.
Sure. My wife is an instructional support teacher at Upper Providence. She's been with the district for a number of years now, also in education since about 2001. We've been married since 2004 and together since high school, so we've been together for a long, long time now. We have two boys. One is in sixth grade right at the Springford 5-6 Center, and a fourth grader right at Upper Providence. And we just moved over the summer at Upper Providence's attendance area, so it's his first year there, and he's having a great start.
Yeah. How nice is it to have your kids go into the district you work into?
It's really fantastic. I mean, one, being on the same schedule, but it really makes you just already being a community member of Springford. People always ask, like, what's something that you're proud of? And it's being a part of that Springford community. And working here is one thing, but also being a family that lives in the district and have your kids go through that really, really enhances that too. So it just makes all the little things about being in Springford more meaningful, that our kids are part of that and you're being invested in just the worth of what the district brings to the surrounding area.
Totally agree. All right. And talking about family, let's go back in time because you got your two kids in here. You're from Souderton, PA.
So Souderton, go Big Red. Yes.
Red.
So yeah. I grew up in Upper Salford, which is on more of the outskirts of the Souderton area school district. But yes, went to Souderton area high school, the original one that now is torn down, and they have, I guess, townhomes of where it was. But the original one in Souderton, and I went there. And then went to Bloomsburg University afterwards for my undergrad, and then Villanova for my master's program.
Beautiful. And what did your parents do when you were growing up? And tell us about brothers, sisters, whoever.
Sure. I had my mom was an elementary school teacher at the elementary school where I went to school, and taught second and third grade for most of her career. My father was a machinist over at Merck. He did that while we were all in school, working lots of hours doing that. And both are happily retired now, still living in Upper Salford. And I have one younger brother. He's out on the outskirts of Washington, D.C. right now. He's working in patent law, doing a lot of stuff that requires a lot of paperwork things is what the impression I'm getting.
So who's the favorite, though?
Who's the favorite brother?
Yeah,
favorite of the son?
who's the
Well, I would
favorite child?
assume, I mean, the better looking one I can answer for sure. That would be me. You know,
I'm sure. I'm sure about that.
favorite
Yeah,
one's in there. That's a coin toss. How can you pick?
I got you. I got you. All right. So let's get back to that. You know, it's with the guidance counseling. So you talk about
real quick, Bill, because I know my colleagues are going to be on me on this after they watch the interview. It's guidance counselor is a term that you're probably familiar with when you went to school in elementary school. That's what it was called. It's since been called the school counselor.
School counselor.
That's what our degrees are in. So we're just trying to get the word out there to try to switch that mindset. So school counselor, yes.
All right. So school counselor, and just counseling in just right now, you talk about the epic, majority of the kids that need that. So what are you doing right now? I mean, how important is your role? And what do you feel is, I guess, the important things for young kids, especially you're at the elementary level and maybe middle school. What's so important for them to be doing right now?
Right now, it's two big areas that we're really seeing work on. One is coping skills for managing emotions. And that was even the case before we were in the pandemic and dealing with the things we are now. That's something that came up. And in this case, all the more so. The kids are having issues with frustration, with anxiety, with self-control, all things that are stemming from their access to their education and being in different environments than they may have been used to. And that's with the older kids. For the younger kids, it's funny that the issues they have are still similar to what it would be like in school: self-control, attending to directions, attending to part of the class. And you, as a teacher, you probably see the online environment really eerily replicates what the classroom would be like. Two kids are sharing, well, two others are chatting on the side. So it's the same as you have somebody sharing in class and two people talking on the one side. So the issues that continue to be, and in our role as school counselors, is helping those kids access what the teachers are giving to them. And if that means that we need to kind of give them supports that regulate themselves first before they can listen to an attention instruction, and those are the skills that we want to be giving them, things that we want to be doing. A lot of the start of this year is like the start of any other year, and that's trying to keep kids connected to each other, to their teachers, and to their school. And we find that connected kids are those kids who are more ready and able and willing to learn. And if they're feeling disconnected for some way, whether it's with the technology barrier that we're having, or just that they're not quite grasping material, or they need some more peer interactions, those are the bridges that we're trying to help these kids cross.
Yeah, no, that's a great answer. That's it's a good one, because it's like the perfect storm right now. So I could tell that, you being the head of the elementary, you guys are probably discussing this, thoroughly each and every day. All right. So just, one of the things I think to help with anxiety is finding something fun to do and things like that. So do you ever perform any card tricks for any of the kids?
I do, yes. Yeah, it's tough to translate that to a virtual one, but in school, yes, I have a deck of cards on my desk that I'll ask them to often pick a card, and sometimes I get a great reaction. Sometimes they didn't quite follow it the way I would like to. But I do have one. I have a quick one I could share now.
That's a perfect segue there. Let's do it.
Just, how it is. I happen to have a deck of cards here, and I virtually can't pick a card, but I do have the ability. It's in part, you could call it telekinesis, a little bit. But imagine I have a string that I can tie down here to the top card here, and just give a little.
Oh my God!
Up here, and then I can move it to that way, and I can move it back that way, and I can get it to go down and up. That's my floating card trick, which is
always
always a big hit with the kids at home. Yeah. Always,
hey, that made me feel at ease a little bit. All right, so knowing you too, speaking of that little magic there, I know you're a big cartoon, Marvel superhero fan. All right, we always battle.
Yeah.
So if you could be any superhero, like fit personality-wise, who would you be?
Well, as much as I am a fan of the Marvel universe and movies, I have to go to a straight DC and say Batman. And say Batman is that's my pinnacle.
You think you'd be a good Batman? Would you be a good Batman? Who's more like you? Whose personality is you?
Okay, so personality-wise. All right.
Yeah. You had to pick a character that was personality-wise. Like
Thor,
I'm Tony. Oh, Thor.
Thor, I have to say, Thor, a guy that would
You
like to
got
get
some
in there and mix
guns?
it all up, but at the same time ready to relax. Yeah, ready to do that.
Boom! Look at that Diesel. That's pretty good. All right.
Ready to
All right.
relax there on the weekend, that
Yeah.
lay back and have some fun, but also get ready serious and be part of a team. So
Yeah.
it's Thor if he has a personality fit.
Gotcha. Well, we'd be on the same team because I'm Tony Stark.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I'm
are you though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty much Tony Stark. Yeah. So anyway, let's talking about out of school, those things that you said. You mentioned we saw your big guns there. One of the things obviously you like to do is work out. What's something else you enjoy doing on your free time?
Free time. My wife and I are fortunate enough to have some time, just the two of us, this weekend. So we like going out, going on walks, finding nice local places to enjoy. A lot of local fairs, a lot of good places to visit around here in the Royersford, Springford Independence area. I like doing that. I like reading. Part of a book club with some other guys that we discuss books once in a while.
I've never been asked.
But you have to read the books to be a part of it.
Well, is there a movie I can watch? The movie.
That caveat. That's so, I like doing that. And recently, as I said, we had moved, so it's been a lot of doing work around the house, doing outside landscaping work, and eventually looking at some painting and things too. So
yeah, I know you like working. I mean, we did a triathlon together, by the way.
Yep.
I mean, you led the way. You carried me.
There's probably pictures of that somewhere floating around. If we had that,
jumped on his
how
back.
many years ago was that?
I jumped on his back and actually I rode his back, so it was pretty good.
No, not true. No, I like finding things like that. And, like we have the casual get-togethers for bike rides or runs or things to have a group of people. I think that's important to have that, not just for yourself, just to have social interactions and friends that you can do things that are just fun.
Gotcha. Yeah, and not to boast, okay, but you're what, a 3-time fantasy baseball champion?
No, I think it's only one time. So if I
really
got to be clear,
won at least twice.
It might have been twice, but I know I have the highest win percentage. So
highest win percentage. I mean, in our league, that's legit. I mean, that's something
Platinum League special. Yeah,
that's pretty good. All right. I found that pretty interesting. All right, so
that's really, if you look at it, like if you want to decide who's the best fantasy baseball player, because anything can happen, but the best has got to be based on your overall win percentage. So
I agree.
I agree.
Winning percentage. All right. So one of the things I noticed, by the way, just reading, if you weren't a teacher, one of the things you would have been was you were interested in being an astronaut.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, I'd love to have an opportunity to go up in outer space. Maybe at some point somebody figures out some way to do that cheaply, then I'll get a chance to go up in outer space.
Yeah. You think you could take that training or anything like that? Do you think that'd be too hard?
Well, every year it's probably getting a little harder. I mean, things hurt a little more as you get older now, the old hip and things. But no, I would try. I would hope for the one where you could ride in comfort, and they would just sit me back when it's about training, get up there, and check it out and come back down. But astronaut was whenever the kids always ask, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I say astronaut. And you say, "Well, aren't you already?" I said, "I'm not growing up yet. There's still a chance." It could be part of it. Yeah.
All right. Well, to show your age a little bit, hopefully this works okay. It's a little tougher on Zoom, but you said your favorite movie was Goonies. So I'm going to flash a picture here. Tell me what the character's name is.
No, that's Chunk.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, Chunk. All right. Oh, we keep going. That's Brand.
Oh man, you're good.
Mikey. Mouth. Data.
You got them all.
Yeah.
Do you remember the family's name? The bad guys? Do you remember their name?
Fratellis.
And you're good. You love those Goonies.
We really got into it. I could probably give you most of the
Be a good Goonie. You'd actually be a good Goonie.
Yeah.
You'd fit that mold.
Yeah, I like the Goonie style adventure is a good one. Did you ever see Super 8? It was relatively
that was good.
Recently.
Super 8 was really
same
good.
like group of kids out on an adventure.
Yeah, that was like a Steven Spielberg kind of update. I like
J.J. Abrams homage to Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, that was good. All right, so let me just I'm going to ask you one final question here, and then I'll let you go here. And I always ask this. In 15, 20 years, okay, John Hughes retires. What do you want the Springford community to remember or say about you?
Oh, wow. Oh, good question. I hope what the Springford community would say about or remember about me is that they would positively remember that in some way I influenced their kids to be positive and good examples for being citizens. So I'd say they helped them, whatever path they chose in life, Mr. Hughes helped them become a good citizen in what they were doing. Somebody who shows either, whether it's at Limerick, we have our high five behaviors of being respectful, being responsible, self-controlled, following directions. 3, 4, 5. I missed one in there, but I'm not going to rehash them all to go back and do that.
Yeah.
But if they say, yes, that was the example that Mr. Hughes gave to us, was how our kids could go on and do that. I think whatever choices they make in life, as long as they can remember those character traits that we're trying to instill in them, they will do well with whatever they do. And that's what I would hope I remember. That
I agree. That's a good tip. All right. So I'm going to give you a high five right now. Boom, right there, right there. All right. So nice high five. So again, I appreciate you taking the time here, John Hughes, and talking with us. I'm sure I'll see you around. Maybe
Absolutely,
on the bike
man.
ride or in the backyard playing a little cornhole or something like that. You dominate. All right.
Well,
So,
you didn't even ask me that question. If we wanted to get
well,
the
I know,
real
because I know you wanted to boast about that, but we're not getting to the cornhole here because that could be a whole 20-minute argument. So, but I appreciate you taking the time, and enjoy your new home, and again, keep making a difference.
Thank
So
you,
I
Bill.
just want to.
Appreciate it.
You got it. All right. So I want to thank everybody for watching another edition of Staff Connections. Until next time, I'm your host, Bill Culp. If you see John Hughes out, make sure you give him a high five for all he's doing for all these kids out here. And you might see him jogging. You might see him riding his bike. Might see him on a walk. But make sure you say hello. I'm sure he'll say hello back. Maybe he even let you wear his hat. All right. Until next time, everybody, have a good day.